your name, your appearance, your profession. But who are you really? In this new informational world, where every thought, every purchase, every step leaves a trace online, your digital portrait is shaped by more than just likes and social media posts. Every action, every statement, even an instant surge of emotion leaves a digital footprint. In this era, when information travels at the speed of light, reputation has become the currency of success. The key to trust, the driver of a career, the foundation of prosperity in business and personal life. But it has also become more fragile and more vulnerable than ever before. Let's start with ancient times. Cave paintings left by our ancestors tell us about their feats, their loyalty, and their position in the social hierarchy. These images served not only to preserve information, but also to shape the image of society and its members. For example, in ancient Egypt, the pharaohs used monumental sculptures and inscriptions on pyramids to immortalize their power and reputation as great rulers. Their names and achievements were passed down from generation to generation, shaping the image of a powerful and invincible dynasty. Reputation was the key to military success, power consolidation, and state governance. In the Middle Ages, reputation had already become the foundation of society, determining social status. Knights, following the code of chivalry, earned their reputation through bravery and loyalty. Richard the Lionheart, King of England, became a legend thanks to his feats during the Third Crusade. In 1191, he liberated the city of Acre from Saracen siege, demonstrating courage and strategic skill. This victory secured his reputation as a fearless warrior and brought respect among European rulers. In those times, there were no newspapers, no internet, no social networks, and reputation was built not on virtual likes and comments, but on real, tangible things. The word was a powerful weapon. Bards traveling across the kingdom passed down legends of heroes and rulers, shaping public opinion. Written messages and documents served as the official channel of communication, while seals and coats of arms were the guarantees of contracts and promises. Now, with over 5 billion internet users exchanging information daily, reputation has become even more important. Social media allows everyone on the planet to share experiences, leave reviews, and form virtual communities, all of which can ultimately build or ruin brands. But over the centuries, not only the way of life changed, but also approaches to reputation management. Richard the Lionheart was a wise ruler. He understood that reputation is the key to success, both in politics and in warfare. The king created legends about his feats, spreading them through bards. He established the Lionheart Order for brave knights, using the lion crest as a symbol of strength and courage. By his own example, he demonstrated loyalty and valor, participating in tournaments and travels across the kingdom, maintaining ties with key feudal lords. Richard made sure that his deeds and accomplishments were known to every subject. He also carefully monitored the spread of rumors and responded to criticism, addressing the people directly and through written messages. As we can see, effective reputation management helped Richard the Lionheart secure his fame as a hero, a wise ruler, and a great warrior. Thanks to this, he earned the respect of his subjects and European leaders, strengthened his power, and laid the foundation for England's future. Let's take the example of the Renaissance, when the value of knowledge and creativity came to the forefront, surpassing noble lineage, and people increasingly sought recognition for their achievements rather than their ancestry or wealth. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest geniuses of the Renaissance, who could prove everything through the sheer magnitude of his talent, still skillfully earned recognition and reputation in various ways, including the smart use of his patrons. The Medici family, an influential house from Florence, became famous for their patronage of the arts and sciences, as well as their political power. Lorenzo the Magnificent commissioned paintings, sculptures, and engineering projects from Leonardo da Vinci, spreading word of his talent among rulers and nobles. This ensured da Vinci's recognition and brought new commissions from influential figures. But let's return to the present day. Today, reputation is a powerful tool for our visibility, media presence, and success. It plays a critical role in public relations, shaping opinions about small businesses and individuals, global corporations, entire nations, and their rulers, directly and indirectly influencing the behavior of individuals, brands, and society as a whole. Each of us leaves our digital footprint, shaping the opinion about us and the way we are perceived. Reviews, likes, comments, social media posts, all of these create reputational capital, determining the level of trust from consumers, partners, and friends. Mistakes spread instantly and can cost too much. It's important to understand that reputation is not only what you create on your own, but also what others create about you. Imagine, today you're a successful entrepreneur, and tomorrow you're a real villain accused of fraud. In the age of the internet, it only takes one fake news story to destroy everything you've been building for years. And this is not science fiction, this is reality. Competitors and ill-wishers may launch individual information attacks, spread fake news, and unleash full-scale reputation wars to destroy your business or personal reputation. Breaking news! Pixar, the studio that brought us Toy Story and Finding Nemo, is now at the center of a scandal. Employees are disclosing information about rights violations and toxic atmosphere during the production of Inside Out 2. Just days before the premiere, 75 employees were fired. New details are emerging about unacceptable treatment of staff. Dozens of specialists will not receive their promised bonuses for their work. Pixar, once a symbol of creativity and magic, is now on the brink of collapse. Stocks are plummeting. The studio's reputation is crumbling before our eyes. The reputation of Pixar, the studio that created Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and Wall-E, is crumbling due to a scandal that reveals the dark side of its success. Although Inside Out 2 became the highest-grossing animated film, studio employees, many anonymously, describe it as a tragedy. Behind the scenes, stress, overtime, and pressure reign, leading many to seek psychological help. In June 2023, Pixar laid off 75 employees without paying bonuses, despite the success of Inside Out 2, which grossed over $1.6 billion. The layoffs were attributed to financial instability caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The studio claims that the layoffs were not related to the film's box office success, but were necessary to cut costs. Following this, Pixar's stock dropped by 10%, and its reputation was significantly damaged. The irony is that Inside Out 2 is all about feelings, about the inner world of a person. But what's happening in the real world at Pixar? Employees speak of ineffective leadership, uneven distribution of work, and how Pixar doesn't embrace new talent. In fact, it seems that all the work depends on just one person, Pete Docter. Now, let's transport ourselves to a version of reality where reputation is given the attention it deserves. Imagine that in this situation, Pete Docter doesn't just coldly announce the layoff of 75 employees, but does everything possible to soften the blow. He acknowledges the studio's mistakes and takes responsibility for the harm done to the affected colleagues, offering fair compensation and assistance in finding employment with partner companies. Pixar creates a special website, posting profiles of the laid-off workers, their portfolios, and other important information to help these professionals find new jobs quickly. Social media and professional forums are flooded with messages of support. Thousands of emails filled with encouraging words and job offers come from friends, colleagues, and other industry professionals. He addresses the public through the media, emphasizing the importance of social responsibility and Pixar's commitment to supporting its workers. At the end of every screening of Inside Out 2, audiences see the titles roll with heartfelt thanks dedicated to every employee, including those who were laid off. Such an approach would not only have strengthened Pixar's reputation as a socially responsible employer, but also created an atmosphere of trust and respect, which in turn would have positively impacted the company's business and image in the future. Pixar's stock could have risen, partnerships would have been reinforced, and the film Inside Out 2 would have gained even greater support and recognition from audiences and the press. Today, the reputation market is not just a trend, it's a reality. According to McKinsey, 77% of consumers refuse to purchase goods or services from companies with a poor reputation, while 92% remain loyal to brands with a strong reputation. In a world of rapidly growing dependence on digital solutions, reputation management has become not a luxury, but a necessity. In the near future, every brand, every politician, every cultural figure, and every individual will have to focus on managing their reputation. The market for reputation management will grow exponentially, and the deeper our connection with digital technologies becomes, the more critical the issue of reputation will be in our society. Let's turn to the modern reputation market, where every online and offline move leaves a trace. Even the most powerful names can find themselves in the crosshairs of public opinion, and sometimes just one mistake can cost you your reputational capital. One day, we received a call. One of the largest marketplaces in the world had come under attack. Fake news was tarnishing its reputation, spreading rapidly through the media and social networks. This was no random scandal. It was a carefully planned campaign aimed at undermining the business's reputation. Behind this attack was one of the largest banks in the country. Not long before, the bank had expressed interest in purchasing the marketplace, and negotiations had begun. The marketplace had stated its price, which apparently was too high for the bank. Instead of continuing with direct negotiations, the bank decided to employ black PR to lower the price and force the owners into more favorable terms. Fake news began to surface in the press, claiming that the marketplace was engaged in illegal activities, such as selling weapons, drugs, and supporting various unlawful actions. The bank invested significant resources to make this campaign large-scale and convincing. This time, they expressed concern over the rapid spread of malicious and toxic information online and suggested reconsidering the terms of the deal, as the reputation of the marketplace was now at risk, which could negatively impact its capitalization. The analysis of the situation showed that fake news had reached an audience of over 32 million people, and the overall percentage of negative sentiment online reached 60%, far exceeding the usual norm of around 20% for this market. And this percentage continued to grow. Identifying the sources of negativity helped us understand that the attack was not chaotic, but had a clearly defined objective. By analyzing data and tracking online mentions, we confirmed that the fake news dissemination campaign was large-scale and well-organized. We conducted an in-depth public opinion analysis using sentiment analysis technologies and online feedback monitoring. It turned out that negative comments started appearing on social media, forums, and news comment sections, shaping a negative perception of the marketplace. The team developed a communication strategy. Our goal was not just to fend off the attack, but to fully restore trust in the marketplace. We prepared documents confirming the legitimacy of the marketplace's activities and provided them to journalists. We carried out SEO optimization of the marketplace's website to push negative content down in search results and to bring truthful information to the top. We updated the site's content, expanding the section with answers to the most common relevant questions, providing evidence of the company's integrity. We also produced media appearances for the marketplace's leadership, aiming to rebuild the company's credibility. Our specialists actively engaged with influential bloggers to expand reach and strengthen the impact of positive information. At the same time, we carried out targeted work with the most active authors and commentators spreading fake news. We identified their motives and provided well-reasoned rebuttals. Fake content was either removed from the internet or rendered irrelevant. We also negotiated with the platforms where the fake news was being spread, aiming to have the false information taken down. In some cases, we filed appeals against platform decisions to reverse the blocking of our responses to the fake news. Regular online monitoring allowed us to track the spread of fake news in real time and respond swiftly and efficiently. As a result of the work carried out, we successfully neutralized the negative impact caused by the bank's black PR attack. The company avoided a significant drop in capitalization and regained its lost market position. Within a week, we managed to address the majority of negative resources and mentions, reducing the negative sentiment rate from over 70% to a normal level. The client was provided with a detailed report with up-to-date data on search results, including comprehensive information on the work completed and a proposed strategy for ongoing reputation management. The marketplace became our long-term client, benefiting from regular monitoring and risk tracking to prevent similar situations and ensure swift and effective responses to any future reputation challenges. In this story, we saw that those under attack often lack the ability to defend themselves properly and in a timely manner. Reputation management specialists become protectors for such individuals and companies, serving as their voice and ensuring confident resistance against information-based threats. Yes, today, a single attack from adversaries can cost a business millions of dollars. And even if you are as cautious as possible, there may still be those who will organize an attack on you from the information wing. And now, let's take a look into the near future, where technology intertwines with our everyday lives, creating a new world where reputation is not just a word, but an essential part of reality. Imagine this. You walk into a supermarket to choose milk for breakfast, and your glasses, equipped with built-in sensors and cameras, display the product's rating as soon as you pick it up. Information about its quality, manufacturer, and reviews from other buyers pops up on the lenses of your glasses, making your choice more informed and safer. Such technology will permeate every aspect of life. In this not-so-distant world, there will be no room for randomness. Every detail of your life will be under the watchful eye of an all-seeing digital reality. Or picture this. You're sitting at a job interview, and the hiring manager or HR specialist wearing VR glasses sees you not just as a candidate, but as a complete individual, with strengths and potential issues laid bare. These glasses will display digital profiles of job applicants, including not only their resumes, but also reputation assessments from previous jobs, client and colleague feedback, educational history, projects, achievements, and even a psychological profile. In a future where everyone leaves a digital footprint, reputation will be key. Soon we'll see reputational profiles for individuals, brands, and even countries. By pointing your phone's camera or using VR glasses, you'll instantly access reviews, ratings, and histories in real time. This will be a new world of transparency. Reputation is not just a static measure frozen in space. It is dynamic and ever-changing. And as we treat it, so it responds to us in return. Hollywood star Kevin Spacey found himself at the center of a high-profile scandal. The accusations of sexual harassment threatened the actor with the loss of everything: his career, fame, fortune, and, of course, his reputation. Kevin Spacey, the two-time Oscar-winning actor, found himself at the center of a public scandal involving allegations of sexual harassment. After compromising materials surfaced in the press and on social media, his world was turned upside down. His career collapsed like a house of cards, leaving him isolated, estranged from loved ones, with shattered reputation and financial difficulties. The Hollywood idol was now at the center of a storm. Stripped of work, support, public's affection, ahead of him lay a long and exhausting lawsuit, which brought not only moral and financial losses, but also a devastating blow to his image. On July 26, 2023, the London jury acquitted Kevin Spacey of all charges. However, even this acquittal could not undo the damage already done to his reputation. But what if Spacey had turned to crisis communications experts from the very beginning? A reputation management team could have softened the blow and formed a recovery strategy. The actor should have initiated an open dialogue addressing journalists and activists, and demonstrate a willingness to discuss the issue of sexual harassment and his stance on the matter. He could have personally launched or supported an existing charitable project aimed at supporting victims of sexual violence, investing his own resources into it. The reputation management team would have actively promoted information about such a project online, utilizing SERM, Search Engine Reputation Management, managing reputation in search engine results. They would have ensured positive news appeared at the top of search engine rankings, pushing out negativity and drawing public attention. Spacey could have become a producer or director of a documentary film addressing the issue of sexual harassment in the film industry. He could have openly shared his own story, filled with drama and injustice, alongside the stories of others, colleagues who were truly victimized and those whose reputations were tarnished without basis. The film could have been submitted to various documentary film festivals, sparking global media coverage. Success at these festivals, from participation to winning awards, would have increased the quotability and reach of the project among film enthusiasts, critics, and industry professionals. Such a film would have become a powerful tool for changing the atmosphere in the film industry, pushing for broader societal shifts in attitudes towards sexual harassment, and serving as a catalyst for creating a safer and more respectful environment for all participants in the filmmaking process. The most crucial aspect of salvation would have been the regular, precise, and methodical presentation to the general public of all evidence supporting the actor's innocence, highlighting inconsistencies and falsehoods in the testimonies of his accusers. It would have been vital not to allow the public or the press to lean toward condemnation. Kevin Spacey could have used this situation to rethink his career and discover new creative opportunities. And indeed, that is what eventually happened. But wasn't it too late? Yes, he was later acquitted, which might suggest that there was no need for such proactive defense. But reality tells a different story. In the end, reputation is not just about what happens to us, but is also about what we do with it. Let's reiterate the thesis. Reputation is an asset that directly impacts career, business, social, and personal relationships. A case in point is the situation with United Airlines, where an incident involving a forcibly removed passenger caused the company's stock to plummet by nearly $1.5 billion in just one day. As Warren Buffett once said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. This truth has been proven time and again in stories like those of political candidates whose careers are derailed by compromising information surfacing in their backgrounds. Such cases are not uncommon in big business either. Reliable reputation management specialists are your tool for protecting your personal brand, business, or community, up to entire states and regions. They can not only minimize the consequences of public condemnation, but also actively shape audience opinion in your favor, regardless of whether the interaction takes place online or offline. Considering all this, ask yourself, how prepared are you personally for all the reputational threats of the new era? Conscious, creative, and predictable control over your image is a powerful competitive advantage and a complex instrument of influence. Reputation is like your reflection in the mirror of society. Does it align with what you want to project outward?